fucking... Damn it, YouTube. Why you do this shit to me? Fuck. All right, folks, I'm real sorry about that. Seems as though YouTube is once again messing up my streams there. As you guys know, the midnight run always runs at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's done this shit before. That's why I put it in the title, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, I'm sorry about that. So... but YouTube will do that sometimes. In fact, it actually opened up my Earl Grey Tuesday stream that isn't even scheduled until Tuesday. So real sorry about that mess there. I don't know. If you came here at 8 o'clock, I was up there building, right now I'm currently building a Donald Trump website for a political action group, just to let you guys know. That's why I've been a little bit more busier than usual. Because, of course, as you guys know, Trump is running for president, and even though he ripped me off of money, I'm not going to pass up for any money that's going to come my way. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is there, baby, you know? Yeah, it must be politically motivated, Wally. I mean, I don't know. It just is. Well, as far as I'm concerned, as long as Trump keeps running and I get this site up, which shouldn't take too long, I just need to make sure I acquire the rights to the domain, make sure there's no copyrights. It should all take about maybe 30 minutes. The biggest part is the acquisition and getting the trademark stuff, making sure that that's not in case here. So, but of course, let me do my usual intro. Once again, folks, it is 10 o'clock p.m. and it is me, V-I-N-C-E. I want to welcome you all to the Midnight Run. All right. So what do I have tonight? Well, I am running out of cigars, and my favorite brand is actually out of stock, so I don't have many of these left, but I still got my Nicaraguan hand-rolled back cigar. I have espresso coffee with a little bit of whiskey in there, you know, and of course my water. How you doing, Andrew? Not doing too well with YouTube screwing up my live streams once again by scheduling it at 8 o'clock. I have all of my settings, folks, are preset as far as the time is concerned. That's also why I put it in the title itself that it's 10 o'clock p.m. But it's just one of those things. Yes, Wally, I do subscribe to that magazine. I can't give out that domain name right now, Wally. But it has the word Dixie in it, and the site will have a Confederate flag on it as well. Well, when I start video gaming, Andrew, I'm going to stream on both Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. I'll only be able to do like turn-based games because I don't have enough bandwidth to do any of those fancy games, you know, that Vegan Games does. But, you know, as always, we're going to always have fun. And the good thing about turn-based games is I'll still be able to smoke on my cigar, you know. Wally, I haven't got my magazine yet. Things come a little bit slower here in South Carolina, so it should be some time pretty soon. So tell me, folks, what are you drinking and what are you smoking tonight? And let's see what we got in the comments. What are we doing tonight, folks? Now, one thing I do want to mention to you, I actually was thinking about canceling the stream because SmackDown is actually in Greenville, South Carolina, and there was extra tickets left, and someone had actually bought me a ticket. But, you know, I was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't let you folks down. You know, we got to have our midnight run. We got to talk about things, chill out, drink a little bit, smoke, you know. I know y'all look forward to that. Hey, I look forward to it because it's Friday. Been working hard all this week, folks. Gotta relax, you know what I mean? Fernet Brands. Oh, you getting a little fancy there, Hunter. 4 roses on the... Oh my gosh, y'all, hey, you people are getting fancy. I guess some of that blackness of me, you know, has rubbed off on your skin, you know. If any more rubs off, we gonna be some soul brothers, you know. Oh boy. Y'all won't be a Negro? Huh? You won't be a Negro? Just say yeah. Look at that. Vintage whiskey. Oh, man. You guys make me so happy. That's what I'm talking about. Some class, you know. Real class. Classic rum and coke. All right, Greg. How you doing tonight? So in case you guys are tuning in or was here at 8 o'clock p.m., real sorry about that. YouTube screwed the pooch again, you know. So we just gonna have to lean with it, rock with it, you know. So if you showed up at 8, I think there were some other live streams on, but none as good as the great ones, you know. Hey, Pug Man, how you doing tonight there? I was waiting on you so I could light the cigar, you know. So now that you're here, we can get lit up. In case you missed it, Pug Man, I'm building a Donald Trump website there. For his election campaign I've been contracted out to do, you know. So that's some news for all of you guys here. So let's go ahead and get lit up here. And then we'll start taking some questions as always. Mm. I decided to do a little fancy tonight there, so now I have to start this on a somber note there. Lee Banks did pass away. You know, I spoke with him practically every day for many years, and I knew he was, you know, I knew he was ill. He's been ill for quite some time since 2017, and it finally got him there. So, mm. So let's give a moment of silence for Lee Banks. 1 minute, folks. A moment of silence. Do not post or put anything in the chat. We're gonna give 1 minute for Lee Banks here, my buddy. 1 minute. All right, guys. 1 minute is up again. I'm definitely gonna miss Lee. You know, always a positive person, no matter the circumstances and cause. You know, I hope. You know, go on this website. You know, it has a lot of great advice. You know, it's gonna live forever there. You know, so again, rest in peace, Lee. So let's get on with the show, folks. Jump tube, if I had barbell weights, I would definitely do 10 deadlifts there, that's for sure. Yeah, Joe, it's hard to speculate on it there, and especially in his position to where he has so many fans. For me, yeah, you know, I got my fellow piss troopers. You people don't, you know, I'm gonna keep it real and tell it to you like it is here. I don't buy Tony Huge's story as far as some sort of manic episode. That just doesn't make any sense. And guys, in case y'all wonder why the toilet had all that black on it there, chances are that they were probably dusting for fingerprints, is what I'm suspecting there. Uh, but it's not really relative to the situation anyway, other than the fact that the toilet was completely ripped up. So that was really weird. Greg, Lee Banks was a pro, so no. I did go to a show, did go to a few shows when before he did turn pro. I don't really take issue with Derek so much. I have more of an issue with Kenny KO with this natty or not stuff there. But Derek does that sometimes as well. Joel, I wasn't late. YouTube fucked up again. My show always starts at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's done that before. That's why I put it in the title 10 p.m. And this is just one of those cases to where it not only flagged it at 8 p.m., but it also turned on the Earl Grey Tuesday for next week as well. You know. Protein, it ain't no damn rabies. The police would have definitely known if it was rabies or not. There would be a appearance here. Not only that, rabies takes it takes a while uh, for those symptoms to actually start. Connor Murphy, no, I don't think he was involved. I don't know why you're asking if I've heard of the Delray Misfits. This channel is full of piss troopers. Of course we know who the Delray Misfits are, you know? Joel, I'm sorry you sat here for 15 minutes. I was still working on that Donald Trump website, so I apologize. But I need to tell you guys, and I've warned you guys on the live streams before, that sometimes YouTube screws up. Sometimes it even turns on a live stream that I've not even scheduled there. I kid you not. And then that's why you see that little my green logo on there. I think everyone was selling fake turkesterone. Even the real turkesterone was pretty much a worthless product. I sold Smilax Complex back in early 2000. You know, it had results, but people were selling it as though it was anabolic steroids here. Vegan Gains' channel statement. No. Let's take a look at Richard's channel and see what you're talking about. Vegan Gains.
Filing your tax return.
I don't see any statement up here. You'll need to be more specific there. But he's been saying a lot of dumb things lately. He thinks it's funny that Leo passed away. Now, me and him were on the odds and ends, sort of. But we were just getting things... We started to get things rectified. You can't stay angry with everyone forever. At least I can't, you know. And, you know, I've been chatting with Leo for a week, or at least up until not a day or two before he passed away. But he was happy that he was, to me, he seemed kind of happy that he was getting out of Thailand. I think a lot of people didn't know he was trying to get out of Thailand, you know. He had no intention of staying there. Oh, it is the real Vegan Gains. Richard, I don't subscribe to OnlyFans, so you'll need to tell me what's going on there. Folks, Vegan Gains has dropped by. Wally, I don't file my taxes until really late because because I run a business, I worked at Verizon, and I buy and sell stocks. I got to get everything arranged. Have my accountant take care of that. So usually I don't file taxes until probably March or so. People file their taxes to get their money early. I don't really need to do that. Richard, you're gonna have to tell me what it is here because I don't use OnlyFans. I'm sorry. Folks, take hey, you guys post what Richard has in his OnlyFans community post. Because, like I said, I don't use OnlyFans. I don't go to any porn sites here except Pornhub. Because, like I said, folks, it's good to crank one once or twice a day. There, you know, it's good for your health there. Hitler was not a vegan. He was a vegetarian, actually. He actually ate fish. You have to read the book Mein Kampf, and it has some of his dietary stuff. Yeah, and yes, folks, I've read Mein Kampf. I've also read the Turner Diaries. I've read the Quran. I've read a number of books here, you know, so. You'll never really understand Hitler until you read Mein Kampf. I'm sorry. Folks, tell me what Richard is talking about as far as his community post. Because, like I said, I don't go on OnlyFans. I don't pay for puss or dingaling. You know, you can get that. You can get porn for free. So yeah, I know he just left there, but you guys, y'all go and check and just tell me what he's talking about. Puck, if you want to leave to go to Vegan Games channel, then get the fuck out. You know, I'm not no nig noggery today, so I'm just messing here. Go to Vegan Games' channel and then to the community post. Okay. Jeez.
You want customers from ads much cheaper and the scale much further?
His community post? Okay. Jeez. Okay, let's read it off. Just so everyone knows, I deleted the last stream because it was a little spicy and I don't want people clipping me and taking things the wrong way over a sensitive issue, and I don't want to take any chances with TOS where a moderator doesn't understand what I'm saying. Is that where he was making fun of Leo's death or so forth? Or which incident? Because, you know, I know he's my cousin, you know, and I always got to look out for him, even though he annoys the crap out of me, but he's still somewhat family. But he needs to still be specific because there's so many things that Richard has actually said. You know, I can't pin down one or the other. But good thing veganism exposes around, so he seems to keep track of that stuff. As far as Dr. Rackpool having a squat rack in the living room, again, it's a dumb idea, but I think a lot of YouTube creators are beginning to take their squat rack out of their living room. I think it was just a phase. So I think in the future, even Richard will take his squat rack out and probably get a bigger place. Well, Richard doesn't. I mean, Richard's YouTube site real isn't his. He's under a marketing company, so even if he gets a third strike, that marketing company will take care of it. So he doesn't really have to worry so much. My channel for right now is still independently owned by me, but eventually I'll have to get a marketing company too. Because I actually have 3 channels, but I'm about to start the other 2 pretty soon. Technically, I don't have any children, but I did donate some of my semen, so there could be some Vince Goodrums running around, possibly. I would seriously doubt it, but, you know. Anyway, that was a long time ago. Just joking, folks. No, there's no, I didn't donate any of my semen or anything like that. No, I have no children, you know. And I don't plan to have any. The genius. Yeah, he probably died of a heart attack there, if anything. You know, I expected him to live as long as Stu Hart, but it's just like that sometimes, you know. But it was probably a heart attack because I hadn't heard anything about him. The only person I've really heard about is Steve Mongo McMichaels. He's in really bad shape.
The Goodrum Group Marketing Company.
Vince Goodrum with a donation of $3. Yes, the Goodrum Group is the name of the main company. If you go to goodrumgroup.com, it has a listing of all of my websites I own and operate. And I need to turn off Thunderbird, my email. But again, Vince Goodrum, thanks for the donation. I know, Pug Man. I know you. Yeah, that's how Randy Savage went there. He also had a heart attack while he was driving. The accident didn't kill him. Yeah, I guess I would make a good father. I mean, the thing about it is that, you know, I have my nephews there. That's enough. The legacy will last, and there's a lot of people in my family that look like me, so I'm not too worried about that.
Invest in the Goodrum Group.
Vince Goodrum with another $3 donation. If you guys want to invest in the Goodrum Group, you can donate to the Swordfish Club tip there. That's how you donate to that's how you invest in the Goodrum Group. And if you need a website or any other services, you know, just let me know. Well, Conservative Cuban Truth One is trying to build up his channel. Although I don't know why he doesn't just do things on YouTube and he just goes on Instagram. You know, it's kind of weird. It is possible veganism. Oh, by the way, I hope you're doing well tonight. You're a good man. You do some good work, by the way. Folks, make sure y'all subscribe to Veganism Exposed. He does some really good work there. He's Vince Goodrum approved. He's Piss Trooper approved. I'll even say that there, you know. But it's possible that the company did drop him there. Because you know, with his channel under a marketing company, that his channel has its own moderator to it there from the company. So if he pisses off the moderator and he goes back to the company, then yeah, they'll cut his strings here. And since he's not covering up all his live streams, because you see most marketing companies makes off the actual views that are on the channel. They don't make anything on any deleted live streams or on any donations there. So it is possible, but I don't keep up with Richard's business, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Next trip to the Swordfish Club will be in 2 weeks, folks. It's going to be easy for me to build the Trump website because I've already got it built. It's just a matter of, you have to understand when it comes to a website, folks, building a website's one thing, but you got to build up the traffic. I use Scrapebox, as well as Dib search engine for all of my websites. So you got to build a channel. You just can't plop up a website and expect people to come to it. Yeah, everybody is on tonight there. We're rocking and rolling there, Even if there was only one person up here, it don't matter. I'm going to drink and smoke anyway, regardless as to how many people are up here. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. Yeah, baby. Woo! And I tell you what, I'm feeling good tonight. Like Steven Seagal, hard to kill, And a little buzz, too, on top of that, as you can tell. No, I don't think Hannibal killed him. Hannibal runs a good channel there. He's been doing it for many years. He does good work there. I like Hannibal's TV. Hey, James, welcome to the Midnight Run. At least the third live stream, technically. Andrew, I've not been to a gay club in years. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I hadn't been to a gay club in at least 3 or 4 years. Last club I went to was one out in Spartanburg. But I've not been to a gay club in like 4 years. There are no more gay clubs in Greenville or Spartanburg. I would have to go to Asheville. And I've not spent the weekend over there, so. You have to remember, folks, I'm about to turn 46, so I'm at the age to where, clubs are somewhat not my thing. I still go to bars occasionally, I just don't go out as much, Oh, I know you're kidding, Andrew. I did see it, James. It's very shameful there, I wouldn't wish death upon the most hated person there, And it's like I said in the video, if Richard died, I would have the right to make fun of him, but folks, I wouldn't make fun of Richard, I would feel bad if he passed away. Well, we're going to see in a couple days, Ice Monkey. The autopsy's already done. They're still investigating, which isn't a good sign, folks. Especially if it was something like a drug overdose. Pugman, I may not move to Florida, but it's possible I'm thinking about actually purchasing a home in Florida. Have like a vacation home or a condo in the near future. And just have 2 places to live instead of 1. Because like I said, I live in a single wide mobile home. It's already done and, locked down, So, I can easily afford a second home. So, I'm just paying the land on that, and that's nothing. He has some strikes. Well, that doesn't surprise me. There's no telling which direction Richard's going to go into at this point. Wally, Richard will probably go to Instagram or TikTok. Because you notice he's already set up his Instagram channel. So chances are he'll be building up his Facebook and Instagram. And he'll be able to easily build up his Facebook and Instagram. But there's a lot more strict rules, so he definitely won't be able to get away with what he's been doing. Wally, you got to be joking. I would never have Genova manage my house. You saw what kind of pigsty that he kept. Had maggots crawling all over the dishes and everything. Ew. You know, in order for maggots to actually crawl on food, that sink had to have been dirty for weeks. I mean, literally weeks. To have maggots crawling all over it. I mean, these are maggots, folks, not ants. Maggots. Gene, you have now subscribed. Welcome to Welcome to the Lake Genova, the land of piss. I am your lifeguard, the great one, Vince Goodrum. Yeah, Richard already has a Facebook. Like I said, I'm going to start building up my Facebook and Instagram as well as a lot of other channels as well. So just expect a lot more out of that. I know I miss a lot of messages in my Instagram, but if you guys notice, I'm now answering those. So, like I said, I'm building up my Facebook and my Instagram, and I'm talking about all of my Facebook channels. Jasmine will probably go back to Finland or whatever foreign country she's from. Where is she from? Finland, Norway, Luxembourg, or something? I keep forgetting. Jason, I don't know where Jay Masters is, you know. I really don't. Oh, well, get that workout in. Yeah, Greg, I'd noticed that I did gain a lot of subscribers in the last week there. It's been dry for the past week or two, but that's because the YouTube algorithm was messing up really bad. But it looks like it's getting back fixed because none of my videos were being recommended or anything. And that was happening to a lot of channels. I'm also starting to earn revenue from the shorts, but really it's not really much to write home about. I'm building it for a Trump political action committee, actually. It's going to be nice. It's going to be real nice. It's going to be similar in the design as other Trump sites. It's not going to be too fancy or anything. It's just going to do the trick. It's going to have the Trump gold bars. It's going to have Trump t-shirts. It's going to have books on it. It's going to be really nice. I'll make sure it's nice. You know, I got to take care of things. If someone contracts me out to do a job, I'm going to do a job, you know. As far as Dr. Rackpool's channel is concerned, I don't really understand it, but it's probably because I'm not British or anything. James, why in the world does Jasmine have milk for? Unless it's like almond milk or soy milk. Oh yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm just a little buzzed, that's all. Doing my little jerking up and down and stuff, so. Hey, Rules, welcome to the chat. Hey, Kaizen's dropping in. All right. Well, just get that workout in, Raul. Everybody has came in. Welcome to the midnight run. Well, Wally, those kebab shops and those fish and chip shops are pretty common, as well as those Indian places as well. Andy, you better slow it down a little bit if you've drunk that much. In fact, actually, just stop drinking. You need to start drinking water. Just like I got water here. I need to have myself a little sip. Yeah, I saw Dot the Rack Pulls boxing. Pathetic. Just pathetic. I got a good laugh out of that. And that's something that you can laugh at, folks. It's not death or anything. Do a smoke circle. Let me see. Hold on. I can't do it. Smoke circles are pretty hard. This isn't the right cigar to do it with. I'll have to have something that gives off a whole bunch of smoke, like a factory smoke, for example. Well, when I go to the Swordfish, I always start off with a martini, and then I'll have myself something with Beefeater in it. And of course, I'll have a little bit of, usually I'll have the bread that they actually make in order to soak up the alcohol. And then the last thing I have before I go is a double espresso, so that way I'm awake enough to drive home. Or if I get too zooted out there, then I'll leave my car parked and I'll actually catch an Uber home. Whenever you have an Amex Platinum, you get a $10 credit on Uber. And usually for me to Uber home, because it's only 10 minutes away, it's like $13 or $14. So not that much. Folks, if you're too drunk, catch an Uber, if you can't drive. J Masters, or if this is the J Masters, everything's bad for you these days. But I understand the risk of smoking cigars, so gotta live a little. I mean, look what happened to my granddad. He dipped and smoked all his life, and he only lived to be 90. So. Oh, yes, you can definitely do calf movements on the Total Gym. It has squat. I do have a squat pad for it, and I can actually add weight to my Total Trainer. It's not a cut there, Charlie. I'm just losing weight. But it's going fine. Today was a cheat day, actually. I have to do one once a week in order to keep things going properly. It's not exactly a generic Total Gym, Raul. It's an enhanced type Total Gym. It does more things than a Total Gym, and it's a lot less expensive. It's actually it's pretty much the same machine I used to sell many years ago, But I call it a Total Trainer because it comes from that same factory. And I sold Total Trainers for many years. I made a lot of money off of them. I would say I sold about $250,000 worth of Total Trainer machines on eBay. Why am I losing weight? Because I had gained too much from partying. And at my age, you know, I need to cut down on, you know, on the weight anyway, so. Yeah, I heard Brad was opening up a bar, so I wish the best for him. A bar is a good thing to invest in. I explained that to y'all on the Earl Grey Tuesday. No, bars, it's very hard to lose money in a bar because of the turnaround as far as how much money you can make between the cost of the alcohol and what you sell it for. He just needs to make sure the entertainment is right and make sure the music is right for the crowd. What did I actually eat? I had a strudel and I had chips, a few other things here. But on these cheat days, even though I eat some high calorie foods or so forth, I only have like one meal a day. And then the rest of the day I drink water and be a little chippy. So I'm still getting in sort of the same amount of calories as I normally do. So I would say it's not a cheat meal. It's a matter of tricking my body into thinking it's actually getting some real food, actually. But the caloric intake is still the same. Fernandez. The Chinese spy balloon, now there's two of them. They need to be shot down, actually. I'm not sure why they're still floating around. Shoot those things down. Dr. Rackpool's channel is dead. He doesn't have many more views than I do, even with his number of subscribers. That being real or fake. Probably most of them are fake. Hey, Quick Pump, welcome to the Midnight Run. This cigar is burning really quick tonight. I'm not sure why. The mailbox. Yeah, Rich Piana, he was a character, that's for sure. It's been like over 3 years. And they're still doing that 5%. John, I think Rackpool is unemployed. If he is working, then Lord knows, who knows. I can always be so wrong about things. I thought Repsion just, for example, Repsion, the pasty white kid that does videos, I didn't know he was a welder. Being a welder is a very respectable job. I have a lot more respect for Repsion for being a welder, actually. Hold on just a minute, folks. What's going on? Hey, is it buffering, folks? Yeah. Hey, folks, tell me if it's buffering or not. Yeah, I told you guys that YouTube was messing up. Bunch of dumbasses. need to shoot down the balloons there. I don't know why they're still floating around there, you know. All right, that looks like the connection's back on. You know, if it does cut off, don't forget I still have my phone access. Just like before. Equifax settlement check. I know nothing about it. But I am going to be getting a refund for my student loans along with other things because, as you guys know, even though the student forgiveness loan is on hold, I went to ITT Tech, folks, and for the past decade I've been fighting them, the government, but now it looks like they're finally got the idea that they've been screwing people around for it, so hopefully I get a payback for everything I've paid into it, because given the loan itself, I probably paid close to $20,000 and it's not moved anywhere, you know. Technically for me, it's still on the books. Well, as long as I'm around, Andy, I'll do a live stream, you know, and if something happens, don't forget, you know, you can always go back to these old live streams and the videos, and, you know, don't remember, folks, as far as how someone dies, just remember how someone lived. Charlie, ITT is no more, but our nice little government still likes to screw people that went to it, make excuses for not discharging loans. They went out of business over a decade ago. I went to ITT Tech in '98. I mean, regardless as to what happened, I still got my engineering job at Icon. I was a systems engineer so I guess I got my money's worth, I suppose. So, you know, I can always go back to, well, now it's called Rico. I can always go back to that job, but all I would be doing is fixing copiers, you know, and even that's got to the point to where it's pretty much automated. But yeah, folks, at one time I was an engineer. So in case anyone says that the Great One doesn't know anything, think again. I can't fix cars, but I can pretty much fix any electronic out there. That's why I went, Charlie. I thought it was going to be a good school where I would get it, you know, where in 2 years, you know, I'd be getting some fancy jobs and stuff like that. And it turns out that I could have got the job on my own without it. I don't think the cigar is, but this cigar is burning really fast. I may end up getting another one. Well, Dead Rift, that's not the only thing that's hard on his knees. No, I don't change my own oil because I use full synthetic and I drive a Cadillac and a Mercedes. So that requires special tools in order to, well, not really for the Cadillac. I could change the oil in my Cadillac, but definitely not in my Mercedes. The Mercedes requires special tools in order to change it. And I need to pause this out before it crashes again. Oklahoma City bombing. My brother was actually down there at the time when he was in the military. He was donating blood and clearing out some of the rubble. And in case you guys don't know, my brother's name is also Richard. He actually looks like Richard, Vegan Gains, and he's a vegan as well. So when Vegan Gains gets to his 40s, he's going to look like my brother, because he already looks like my brother at his current age. I kid you not, folks. That's where I first suspected that he might be related to me. So So yes, there's a clone of Richard out there, and it's my brother. I'm not going to any Kanye West shows, nor Beyonce or anyone else. No, he's going to look like my brother. He's not going to look like me. Nah, I'm not going to do that. And then all of a sudden, y'all be messing with him and asking all sorts of questions. That's something black folks want to think about, as being all brothers. But we have so much black on black crime, and believe me, people talk about not snitching, but when someone's facing like 5 years in prison, oh, they're gonna snitch. I got real brothers and sisters, but this brother stuff, bullshit, you know. Quick pump, I actually used to tan whenever I was competing, actually. I would tan every other day for like 15 minutes. I've not tanned since 2012, actually. I was going to do another show in 2012, but I canceled it. Because I was having problems there because of everything I did in 2009, so. That's another reason why my weight has gone up there. Because I had to get off all stimulants, all supplements, and everything for many years. So I'm starting to work that back in my system. Look what happened to Malcolm X. Nation of Islam, everyone called each other brothers. He ended up getting shotgunned to death, you know. That's real talk there, you know. Look through Wikipedia or any history. That's the thing about brothers there, you know. It's a dream, you know. Ain't no brothers and sisters out there, you know. I used to think there was, and you know, but nowadays it's just words. It's no different than the Democrats here, you know. Oh, yeah, I know he's streaming there. I know Big Lenny was streaming earlier. No, I don't have sickle cell. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do the "What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here." Wouldn't be able to do that, folks, if I had sickle cell. Right now, I'm taking multivitamins, and I'm also taking fish oils and stuff, just general supplements. Pugman, I have good aerobic capacity. Like I said, I do cardio, folks, you know. Used to be able to hold my breath for about almost 2 minutes there, but not anymore. Maybe about a minute at this point. Well, I may do that contest one day. But some of y'all thought I faked it last time when I did that on a short, but no. Yeah, there's people that can hold their breath for 10 minutes, actually. There's actually a water community that where, you know, they're actually born on the water and they stay on the water all their lives. Don't forget, folks, make sure you twist it, don't jab it. That was a pretty good cigar, but it burned really quickly. I may start getting Churchills up here so my cigars will be longer. Wally, if I held my breath for 5 minutes, I wouldn't die or anything. I could, if I tried really hard, I may be able to hold it maybe 3 or 4 minutes here, if I get in enough air. The key to doing something like that is to slowly just leak it back in other words. No, Ancient One, I can't do that. Nope. Andrew, I'm going to ignore your question. Sorry. I know Bob Ciccarello says it's only gay if you want it to be, but you know, we're not gonna have that there tonight. No, the jab definitely didn't have anything to do with Leo. Wally, no, they wouldn't. They probably wouldn't eat them. But one thing about a dog and a cat there, if you die, the dog and cat will eat you, you know. They'll eat you all the way up until you're nothing but skin and bones. Do you know why butterflies fly around people? Because butterflies can actually smell blood. That's why. They smell the blood on you, that's why they come around you. Butterflies are really no different than mosquitoes. What's my favorite coming of age? Pussy Galore. It was a good porno movie. Anything with Ron Jeremy in it or so, or Vanessa Del Rio. You grow up really good and you learn about sex ed by watching a porno. On a VHS too. VHSs were really cool because they would last for like 4 hours and you got that cheap music like dun 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 whack 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 dun 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 dun. And all of them would sound the same or wow, 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 wow. Yeah, cats and dogs, I mean, if you die, they're going to eat you. They do, Andy, but they fly around you because they smell your blood. Yeah, the NWO Interesting was based off a porn song. A lot of people don't know that. I still have Sean Ray's Lifestyles of the Fit and Famous, but I don't have a VHS player anymore. I still have a DVD player. But no, I don't have I don't have my VHS anymore. And I had a really nice one. I spent like almost $200 for mine. It was a hi-fi stereo VCR. Really nice there. Played really good. Don't turn your back on the wolf pack. Depending on what happened to Leo there, I don't think I'll end up like him. At least I hope not. You never know what you'll end up in this day and age. You know, you can be poisoned or something, you know. Life is one of those finicky type things. That's why you gotta live it as best as possible. There's rattlesnakes and copperheads there, Andy. Dragonflies are pretty cool. But for a lot of people, they can be kind of scary. Well, Scatman, Sean Ray, for the most part, is pretty stuck up. I don't have any real problem with him or anything. He's never been stuck up to me. But then again, I didn't coordinate with him as much as other people. Where is Aaron P. anyway? I haven't seen him in a while. Deep Roots. Yeah. No, Quick Pump, I don't think they found that out. I don't know Kid behind the camera. I think he's actually from North Carolina. Raul, you want to do both of them so that way you can hit all the heads of your calves there. So do them. You want to do them both inward and outward. It's the same with biceps. You want to do forearm biceps this way. You'll want to do them this way. And for pull-ups, you'll want to pull up this way. And you'll also want to pull up that way as well. Make sure you hit everything. I've been to a lot of raves, Andrew. That was a big thing back in the 90s. Just stay away from the what looks like an oxygen tank because usually it has whiffers in there. They're not selling balloons or well, they're selling balloons, but not exactly the balloons where you carry around like a clown, where you blow on them there and you tie them up into dogs or something. Yeah, Australia's a pretty nasty place. I mean, there's a lot of things that can kill you out there. Scatman, I have whiskey stiffen coffee tonight, or whiskey stiffen espresso. I never saw Blade at the rave, but I saw a lot of people that look like Blade at a rave. Seal Rose, it's just too fancy. I wouldn't. If you're talking about those, there's just another back movement. Well, there's balloons of heroin, but these are balloons that have laughing gas in them. Well, he just needs to do barbell curls as well as forearm curls. Yeah, I did drop some E at a rave there, Charlie. In the late 90s, I mean, I did drugs here, you know, coke and everything. The one thing I did the most was GHB, actually. I love GHB. GHB's awesome, you know. Got you nice and lean with a six pack, made you feel good, you slept well, you know. And GHB was very easy to get, especially Renutrient and stuff. I don't like Chinese food, James. I like Japanese food. Chinese food, a little too salty, you know. I prefer having sushi. Louis Marco isn't exactly a fraud or anything. He's just a YouTube creator. But he posts some really funny stuff on Instagram. No, I never got as bad as Lenny. I did my GHB in moderation, if you can call it that. Charlie, you should not be using that stuff. I would get off of it. Well, Kaizen, at the time, GHB was legal as well as GBL. You can go and pick it up in a nutrition store, as well as ephedrine and ephedra and everything, and pro hormones. The 90s was awesome when it came to legitimate drugs. Nowadays, people are doing the purple cups, and I don't think people are doing purple anymore. They're doing stuff with drugs in this day and age. They got all this fentanyl in there, killing a lot of people. Crazy. No, Wally, they don't put GHB in Chinese food, just bits of cats and stuff here. I'm just messing. Quick Pump, I think they're going to be checking. They're not going to leave any stone unturned or anything. They're checking everything. Tony Huge needs to get out of Thailand, to be honest with you, unless they've already taken his passport. You can get the death penalty for drugs in Thailand, actually. Well, Scatman is any type of... it's closely related to Fin, so... Just definitely wouldn't take it. It's not Fin, but it's not good stuff. You don't need it. Racky, I don't know if your channel is dead or alive or anything like that, but you can keep doing your thing, you know. I mean, you got people that like your channel there, you know. Like I said, you got, I mean, it's some of the British comedy I don't really understand. No matter how many episodes of Are You Being Served I've watched, as well as the EastEnders, you know, so. Charlie, there's certain things I don't like about it there. The biggest thing is just the addictive properties of it. But it's not something I like. I don't like SARMs neither. Well, feel free to do whatever video you want about me here, so I don't care. But while you're making the video, take the squat rack out of your living room. You need to just have one dedicated exercise room. Is Dr. Rackpool's bird Lithuanian? I speak to John Bravo a bunch there. He's a YouTube creator. I didn't like his last video that he made. I told him I would watch it there. It's sort of clickbaity where he's saying the cause of death, but, you know, that's not been released, so, you know. There's no news on that being out there, so it wouldn't be. In other words, I like Bravo, but you know the video that he made, it's not something I would actually put out. No, your wife's from Russia. Okay. Scooby, I've known him for 20 years before he even got on YouTube. We used to run competing websites, actually. I mean, we're both homos and everything, so, and he uses TRT, so I don't really have a problem with Scooby. Well, good for you, Rackpool. I'm glad you got more subs. A lot of people have more subscribers than I do. So what? What would you want to debate about anyway? I've been on your live stream before, if this is the real Dr. Rackpool. But yeah, I've been on your live stream a bunch of times. You already know that. So it's possible you're not the real Dr. Rackpool. Yes, Charlie. I'm aware of it. I liked it whenever he was the genius there and reading off everything. I thought that was pretty cool. Andrew, probably not, because he would know that I've already been in a number of his live streams. I drink in moderation, Racky. Now, I have gotten super drunk at the Swordfish Club because it is a drinking bar, and that's when I take an Uber. But I don't go as far as I used to. I don't get sloppy drunk. Raul, I'm going to ignore your question. Oh, that's right. You do got 2 channels. Well, I've already been in your live stream. I'll show up when I'll show up there, so. Whenever I'm not busy. Like I said, you can have all the subscribers that I want, but my main dedication is not really to YouTube. It's the building websites here and running e-commerce stores and affiliate accounts. That's where my source of my revenue is from. Swordfish is not a gay bar. It's a high dollar, pretty much a speakeasy. One to where you have to make reservations to get into. I would say it's a bar version of Dorsia, in case you guys have watched American Psycho. You got to make reservations just to get a bar seat, so I would consider it the same as Dorsia, sort of. You know, someone should open up a restaurant named Dorsia. I wonder if that's trademarked or not. I'm sure there's a bar out there or restaurant. Oh, James, he's just trolling, so. It's fine to troll on my channel, folks. I'm not going to ban you or anything. Because one, I can easily ignore your question or so, and not only that, you would just create another account, so it's a waste of time. That's the same with comments. I don't bother taking them out, but sometimes YouTube will just flag them and just throw them out completely. Well, of course, if you call early, Wally, you can. But some days they're so crowded they can't, no reservations allowed. You don't want to call at the last minute. You can wear anything you want at the Swordfish, but given the clientele and the people that's there, you'd probably get a bunch of good, funny looks. it's best if you go business casual if you're going to go to the Swordfish, as well as to, and just to let you guys know, I don't just go to the Swordfish. I go to Hal's Chop House too. I'll go to Roof Chris. There's a number of nice places to go. You know, that's my whole thing. I don't go and eat out at fast food. I'd rather spend my money, if I'm going to put my money into something, rather than having 5 nasty fast food meals. Why not have a nice meal at a good restaurant? You're going to spend all the same. Well, Wally, I'll see you there then, so. Scooby already has a husband, but no, he's not easy on the eyes or anything, so. I'm sure we would get along, but he's not easy on the eyes. Not only that, he takes steroids, so that's going to be a big negative. Everything's great at the Swordfish. They have they bring in excellent chefs. They make handmade ice cream. Chicken wings are pretty good there. The bone marrow's good. Yeah, Scooby is gay. Y'all didn't know that? He's gayer than a handbag full of rainbows. Just to let you know, come in my day there, so forth, you couldn't exactly just come right out of the closet or anything like that, you know. And I never came out of the closet. I got outed. Even when I got outed, I didn't care anyway, you know. For the most part, I'm a private person there. If I'm having some issues, if in case I ever get cancer or something like that, you people ain't gonna know about it, you know. I'll just say, I'll stop my streams for a while, and say, hey, I got other things to take care of. That's just so that type of information is so personal. It's not something I'll put out. And just so you know, I don't have cancer, folks. Yes, I do shave and wax my head myself. I mean, it's not hard to shave your head. You just take a razor and, But it's very important that you keep it shaved there because it's a lot harder to shave it if you have a lot of hair on. No, my ex-husband's friends actually outed me. Assholes. One of them was living with us at one time and we threw him out. So we told him to pack his bags and get out. Well, jump tube, I don't have a hairline because I'm bald. But if I let my hair grow out, I'd look like George Jefferson. I wasn't punked out of the closet. I was just outed, I shave my head once a week. Well, the sound of someone's voice isn't always a telling factor whether someone is gay or not, or whether they enjoy the company of men or so forth. Well, I've been around long before YouTube. I've been on the internet long before Scooby was. I've been on the internet since the early 90s, actually. before there was even an internet, whenever I accessed the internet, I actually used links. Links is a text-based web browser, and there wasn't that many websites out there. There may have been, I don't know, maybe 100. Most what was out there in the early 90s was what was called bulletin board systems and news groups. News groups came along a little later, but for the most part, the web was in its infancy, and you would just dial into a bulletin board system. And if you wanted to go somewhere, you would dial into that other bulletin board system. So it was pretty much segmented. So let's say I was on the Arena BBS and I wanted to go to Stanford's BBS system. I would have to hang up and then I would have to dial into the Stanford BBS, for example. I didn't invent the internet. I was just there, you know. Yeah, I guess I am an internet relic, so what? Some people were on the, like me, were on the internet very early, so. I mean, I've been on the internet for over 30 years, so. Ever since I was 15 years old. Well, actually a little bit earlier, but not technically. I used a TRS-80 to get on the internet. I also used an Atari, Apple II computer. So, yeah, I used Q-Link before, but I had an Atari ST, and I used that Atari ST for like 7 or 8 years. That's another thing about computers. Back then, you didn't really need to upgrade them or anything like that. You can pretty much do most of your stuff. Nowadays, you just gotta upgrade everything. Also, the Atari ST actually is the most expensive computer I actually had. It was like $600 for the computer and monitor. I've never spent close to that amount since then. But my Atari ST was the most expensive computer I've ever bought. Never had a compact Presario. The next computer I had was a 486 SX 30 megahertz. I pretty much remember almost all my computers I had. But most of my computers I built myself, and nowadays I just buy e-ware from companies that have laid off there. Like my computer right now, this was from a company that laid off all their employees, so there's plenty of these business computers around to where you can get them real cheap. I use Lynx, and when I got my 486, I used Mosaic for a little bit, and then that's when I started using Netscape. Gateway was after my time. My school was full of Apple II computers. Now, when I took computer programming, I was able to get on a Macintosh. I learned typing. My typing class, I used an IBM Selectric, so they used to teach typing classes with typewriters. So I actually still have a... No, I donated. I used to have a typewriter. I might actually still have the typewriter in my home, actually. Either that or I may have donated it. No, I never had the Sony before. After my Atari ST, I pretty much built my own computers up until 2010, actually. From there, I just bought from companies that were pretty much closing out. So there's been a lot of business computers. That's the same with my laptops. There's no need to go and build your computer anymore, even for gaming PCs. It's a waste of time. Wings, I'm actually from North Carolina. Yeah, the Oregon Trail was really fun. I also play, one of my favorite games was Snooper Trooper. But because I had an Atari ST, I had a wealth of video games. No, I don't have any of my computers anymore. I gave my Atari to my stepdad. Actually, I need to correct that. I had an Atari 1040 STF. After I got out of the army, I had already given away my computer and sold it. So I got an Atari Mega ST 2 computer. Afterwards, I started building it. So I actually got a Mega ST2 whenever I got back from the army, which was for a very short time. I like the Mega ST2 because it had a detachable keyboard and I can sit my big giant monitor on top. Vegan Gains is 6'4", so he's bigger than I am. Pugman, are you asking when I was born? I was born in 1977. No, I never owned a Sega Genesis. I bought a Nintendo out of a pawn shop, 93, and then I got an Atari Jaguar. But when I was growing up, I had my computer, and I had an Atari 7800, actually. And I also had a 2600. Yeah, I was an Atarian, Jump Tube. I've had every single Atari product that's been out there. I've had a 2600, 7800, Atari ST, Atari Mega STF, Atari 5200, you know, even an Atari telephone whenever they were making telephone. So, and I also had manuals. I went to Atari Fest every single year growing up, and got you know, a lot of the old ex-Atari employees from the 80s. They would give manuals out and stuff and materials. I wish I had kept all of that because it's worth a lot of money. Why was I born? Well, because my mom and dad screwed and out I popped there, so. Unless you're asking me something else I don't really understand, Pugman. I may be just reading that wrong, possibly. Yeah, I've heard Lenny's stories about that. Just if I kept the Jaguar, I could have sold it for $1,000. The Atari STF, maybe $2,000. The Atari telephone would have been worth a lot of money. I would say I would have gotten $5,000 at this point in time, because Atari, you know, this is an Atari telephone, so. But yeah, they're worth a lot of money. And the manuals wouldn't have been worth that much there. Could have got a couple $100 out of that. But yeah, any type of vintage computers are worth a lot of money, especially the Jaguar. And the games. Athens, I definitely don't have any thoughts on the Trapeze Club, so. Jump Tube, they did a lot of drugs from what they told me, so. What was the last Atari system? The Atari Jaguar, although they're still producing Atari flashback systems, so. Ah, cool, Bart Simpson phone. Don't have a cow, man. Wings of Redemption's channel is not something I really watch there. I mean, it's pretty much an unrelative channel. Lenny's been in a lot of places there, Fernandez. Definitely not for research purposes. Jamie, you have to remember, all of us have, I mean, I have plenty of wild stories about going to clubs there, and stuff. I don't really go to Mexican restaurants there, Quick Pump. If I do, I'll have a Texas fajitas, but it's not one of my things. I rather have a steak and a potato at House Chop House or at Ruth Chris, or maybe a burger and fries. Jaguar was not the first to do CDs. Hmm. Uh, hmm. I don't know which system was the first to do CDs. Maybe no, not the Neo Geo. If I had to take a guess, probably the either the Famicom or the well, the Famicom took not the Nintendo. Nintendo and Famicom are technically the same, but the Famicom is an earlier version. I would say the Famicom because it used there was a laser disc attachment as well as a disc drive too. But I would say the Famicom probably was the first one that had CDs as far as game systems are concerned. Because it only makes logical sense because when it came to the Famicom in Japan, they were basically releasing everything. They were the ones that had early online gaming as well. She really did that, Athens. That's nasty. I can't see all these people that go and play video games and they just stay there until they take a dump in their pants and they wear diapers and everything. Hey, Aaron, you're getting here a little late, but we still got 30 minutes, so ask your questions or if you won't, drop something in the collection plate. I think the Jaguar came out before the Sega CD. I could be wrong. The Jaguar system came out, but the Sega CD came out before the Jaguar CD. Now the Jaguar CD system is probably worth a lot of money because very few people got that, and there was only like maybe 5 games produced for it. The Nintendo, the reason why the Nintendo was so great there is after the video game crash of '82. Nintendo had the idea of selling it as an entertainment system. So the NES, that's why it's designed like a VCR, like a home appliance. And that's also why it had that stupid robot because it looked like a toy. And that's how they were able to get it into the stores because otherwise, if it wasn't for that video game crash and them trying to convince the toy stores to actually carry the product, then what would have been released as in the United States would have been a Famicom system. In fact, actually, one of the employees told me Atari was actually going to buy. It could have been an Atari entertainment system because Atari actually had an agreement with NES to actually buy the system. But what happened was one of the Nintendo representatives went to an expo. And it happened that one of the Atari computers had Donkey Kong on it, which really pissed them off there because Donkey Kong was a licensed game. So that's why there was never an Atari entertainment system. Otherwise, Atari would be all around. So, Joel team, I didn't get your question there, but it's okay if you don't donate there. Donations are always an option. I'll still answer questions. I don't do this live stream for donations. This is something I generally do, to keep in touch with my subscribers, my fellow pitch troopers and everything. And quit doing this answer my question, otherwise I won't answer any of your questions. Jamie, I don't know the Donkey Kong rap. Well, there was two games built for the robot, like Gyromite, and I think another game. But the robot was just a selling tool to get it into the toy stores. That's all that robot was for. Once they had it in the toy stores, they got rid of the robot. Scatman, I said I don't know the fucking Donkey Kong rap song, so. Aaron, I still have to do turn-based games there. Right now I don't have enough bandwidth, but I'm getting that increased pretty soon, so. Definitely not donations is definitely not how I make my living there. Donations are pretty good, and what I do is I just end up investing it. I put it into only the channel itself. That's what I do with my donations there. But no, I don't use it to pay my bills there. Aaron, don't ask that question. It's, Pugman is at a point where he doesn't have to make no more donations to me whatsoever. He's taken good care of me over the past couple months here. So if Pugman ever donates again, that's cool with me. That's my dog there, you know. He took care of the channel. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to invest back into the channel and put things in place, computer wise, monitor wise, camera wise, or anything. So you guys, you have to thank Pugman for, you know, what's the channel as it is today. So I've not heard much from VKVDM actually. I mean, it's not a beef or anything like that. He just trashes me, you know, and I had to go and tell him that there. So I know, Pugman. Like I said, I always appreciate anything that you donate, but it's like I said, you've taken good care of me. So it's like I said, if you never donate again, that's fine. Without your donations, you know, we wouldn't be at this place as far as channel wise here. So we're good. Richie, he would need to know where Blaha's home is. I'm sure eventually people will find out where he actually lives, if not already. So,
I'm a dog.
Pugman with a Pug99 with a $100 donation. I definitely appreciate that. You're a dog now. I know. You know, I never told y'all guys this, Pugman, but me and my ex-husband actually had a pug. His name was Thorgan, actually. The one thing about pugs that I just don't like there is that they only live like 6 or 7 years here. Ours lived like 5 years. So, my ex-husband always loves pugs. He had a pug when he was growing up. He has another pug right now, I believe. So, and when we were married, we actually had a pug as well. It was a very wild pug. We got him from an animal shelter, actually, because that's one thing we never got animals from like a animal farm. Any animal that we had, we got from an animal shelter. So that way they didn't get killed or anything. But this pug, there was a reason. The reason why it was turned over to an animal shelter, because it was really wild there, and I mean super wild. But it just wasn't properly taken care of. So again, Pugman, I definitely appreciate your donation. You always, like I say, always take good care of it. And like I said, anything you put in, I put right back into the channel there. So. But yeah, I've never mentioned that before. But yeah, we had pugs there, so. Yeah, if they can live up to 10 years, but the thing about pugs is they have breathing issues there. I mean, they're very lovable animals there, that's for sure. But they have those breathing problems here, so they do require extra care. You can fix my faucet. You hear some water dripping or something? No, I don't. Yeah, my faucets are fine, but oh yeah, I was getting the kitchen. That's right. I'm going to be replacing most of the faucets and sink, but that'll be in the summertime. No, it's going to be a huge process, but because I'm going to be doing a lot of other things to the home as well. Sort of like a slight remodel of the things that were put in because I got factory stuff still. That's the one thing about a Clayton mobile home. It has builder's grade stuff, so some of the stuff needs to be updated. Civil commitment there, Jump Tube. Marriage wasn't legal at the time. He is legally married to his husband now, so. Well, Fernandez, if you notice, most bodybuilders, whenever they do their live streams, they're always huffing and puffing like. They definitely can't do the what's going on. I'm not going to do it again. I don't want to scare your dogs. But, you know, that makes all the difference as far as cardio capacity. But half of them can't even breathe. Richie, that pug was already abused when we got it there. But if we hadn't taken care of it, it would have been put to sleep in probably about a couple of days here, you know. That's why we got animals from an animal shelter if we had them. We had a lot of animals. We had a lot of cats there that would, and we would take them in there from the animal shelters, you know. So even though it only lived 5 years, it's 5 more years than if we did not get the animals. So, and he had a good life too. So. Now, just remember, it was already fully grown, so it probably already lived. It was probably about a year or 2 years old, actually. I really hate people that actually just give up their dogs at an animal shelter. You got to remember, if you get a pet, you know, they're not Christmas gifts or anything. You got to take care of them, you know, from when they're young until when they die, actually, you know. I absolutely abhor people that, you know, just go give a animal as a pet there, because when you have pets, you're taking responsibility for a living being there, you know. So if you guys ever own animals and you get something from the animal shelter or so forth, just remember that is your animal for life there. Don't go and put it in an animal shelter or anything like that. And Lord knows, don't give animals as a gift neither. Animals should not be given as a gift there. You should always speak with someone about thinking about giving them an animal and letting them know the responsibilities of having any types of animals, period. I'm not scared of toxoplasmosis. Only if I'm... Ruby Sherry won't answer my calls there, Richie, anymore. So, I don't... I've called her and Jen Willett there, so... But they're not taking calls, so I don't know where they're at. And I don't care really, neither. Well, Pugman, I still eat meat there, but at the same time, I do have my scruples when it comes to taking care of pets here, you know. Don't forget, pets also eat meat too, so I mean, a dog and a cat is a carnivorous animal there. You know, they don't, that's another thing. Don't feed dogs and cats corn-based products. Get them some real food, you know. But yeah, a lot of animals in an animal shelter, and it's a shame there. Joel, I don't remember your puppy that you talked about. Sorry. But you can repeat it on the channel as far as to what you mentioned. No, I wouldn't. I don't believe in feed. You shouldn't feed a dog and cat any type of vegan dog food. Dogs and cats are not vegan. They're carnivores. Especially a cat. A cat is a carnivore. So it should have pretty much an all meat diet there. Now there should be some grains and stuff, but very little. Well, vegan gains is wrong. Wrong. I guarantee if you put a ham bone in front of either one of Vegan Gaines' dog or cat, they'll go and chomp down on it there. If you put vegetables in front of Vegan Gaines' cat, I think it's Perismo. You put a piece of meat and you put a vegetable in front of them, it's going to go for the meat because a cat is a carnivorous animal. Aaron, that is definitely possible. I don't know why Blaha's living with someone like that. He's nuts. He is nuts. 7 months old now. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. It's going to get bigger, too. A whole lot bigger. It's almost at the tail end of things here. So, gonna have to feed him good. Don't do what, Scatman? I have the right to yawn on my live stream. This is the midnight run, folks. Which moment smells the worst? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Flex my triceps. You can look on any of my. You can look on my Facebook. I got plenty of pictures of me showing my triceps here. I tell you what. Donate $500. I'll flex a tricep for you. As far as the Leo investigation prediction, I predict that he was probably murdered. God, I hope not. But I believe he was murdered at this point in time. You know, he was only dead for 5 hours and he had all those bruises on him, especially on his legs and stuff. So I can't see that as a manic episode. Which minority smells the worst? None of them, you know. Remember, smells are dependent upon one's hygiene, you know. Now, when I sweat, I have a pretty bad odor. That's why I use Degree and I use cologne. You have to be in a position to recognize that some people, whenever they get sweaty, they have a really bad body odor. And you got to take steps there in order to prevent that, you know. Now, you may not know this, but there's some Hollywood celebrities like Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt doesn't actually shower that much. He may shower only once a week. And he only uses wet wipes around his arms and on his nutsack. Ashton Kutcher and his wife, they don't wash their asses neither. They don't take baths. There's a lot of celebrities that don't take baths. Yeah, Pug Man, I think it's gonna come up as murdered or so. I hope not, but you know, yeah, that's why we had a falling out there, Aaron, as far as Leo is concerned, as well as his his anti-Semitic comments and stuff. I always hate that. Pugman, in this day and age, anything can happen, but this is a quiet neighborhood, and I have good locks on my doors. Charlie, I don't, where am I getting all this information? I mean, it's out there, Charlie. You know, if I wanted to run an Atari fan channel, I can easily do that, and I could talk about Atari stuff all day. Scatman, I don't know what Jay answered to that question. I don't watch too much of Jay Masters' live streams whenever he was running it, and I have no clue where he's at neither. James, I know you're trolling, but no. Nope, nope, nope. I don't think Leo was a danger to society per se. He just had anger issues and he had a drug problem. Always with the performance and the mental stuff that he was taking and everything. Ashton Kutcher, it's pretty. I thought it was pretty well known that he doesn't wash his ass or anything. Brad Pitt doesn't wash his ass. Angela Jolene doesn't wash her ass. Who else? Well, Scatman, only African Americans do, because you have to remember you have about 200 or 300 years of breeding, actually, because slave owners would used to breed black people like horses and treated them like animals. So, they would put blacks together. That's why black people in America look so much different from an African or a Nigerian. If you take a look at a Nigerian black person and you take a look at someone like me, you'll notice that black folks in America are a lot more muscular than the ones in Nigeria because of that reason, because of the breeding process over the course of hundreds of years. I mean, it's horrible to say that, but, it's the truth there. It's in the history books and stuff. JC, any Clayton mobile home has insulated pipes here. But they're plastic anyway. They're not metal. Most homes should not have metal ones anyway. They should be a plastic. Chad, you are getting in very late there. There's only 8 minutes left in the show. I don't suggest any dating apps. It's better to meet people up front. Or if you do use a dating app, make sure you meet up with them in like a coffee house. Don't go to their house and start pounding their keister or anything like that. Chad, you'd be very surprised that you've heard the saying, there's always someone out there for somebody. So Vegan Gains is actually half black and half white, actually. He's not 100% El Negro. Jump tube, be quiet. Yes, Italians are white people. Unless it's a black person that happens to be Italian, so. Chad, whiskey won't slow down your muscle or height growth there, Whiskey, any type of alcohol will convert into a sugar in your body. So that's why it's more important to drink in moderation. Well, yes, I'm speaking from experience here. I'm sorry you don't get dates or anything, so. Not on Ruby Cherry, but on Jason and Joni there. There's plenty of news on that. God help that boy. All right, folks, 5 minutes left. Get your questions in there. Got 5 minutes left. If you want to ask me something, better do it now. You're going to have to wait till Tuesday. Or unless I decide to do a Sunday live stream. Chad, it's not possible to grow any taller unless you take anabolic steroids or growth hormone. For the most part, you get to a certain height and you stop growing. It's like your teeth. Your baby teeth fall out and you got your main teeth, and that's what you're going to keep for life. Aaron, I don't really have any plans right now, but never say never. The biggest issue I have is there's a number of supplements I can't take due to everything I did in 2009 that's really messed up things here. So, well, Pugman, I hope to live a long life, but otherwise, I try to do everything I possibly can and try to enjoy life to its fullest there, That's all you can do. I know there's magazines called Life Extension and trying to preserve age and everything like that, but again, it's just marketing. Just don't run out in traffic or do anything really dangerous or anything. Don't go and buy drugs on the street at this point in time. It's got a lot of fentanyl and stuff, so. Chad, I don't know what happened to that person there. And Big Rob Fitness hasn't posted a video, I don't believe, in quite some time. Scatman, no, I've never. Anyone that writes their number on a public bathroom stall cannot be a person with good hygiene. A public bathroom is for taking a dump. It's not for tapping your foot underwards here. I did have a guy that tapped his foot underwards, and I'm like, no. Hell to the no. Excuse me, let me sing it. Hell no to the no, no, no. Hell no to the no, no. That was at a Kmart bathroom, actually. I was taking a dump and someone decided to tap their freaking foot, I wiped my ass real quick. I wiped it so quick, I had to go and wipe it again when I got home there and change my underwear. I didn't want to be around that stuff. Just keeping it real with you folks, telling it like it is, If someone taps their foot underwards, get out of there, That's a nasty person, or it's a cop, You shouldn't be doing stuff like that in there. Where would I vacation for spring break? Georgia, whenever I was there, but I don't go on spring break because I'm not a college person anymore, so. Is weed too dangerous? Weed isn't dangerous or anything, thank goodness, unless they start putting fentanyl in the stuff. Yeah, tap their foot means that the guy wants some chon-chon or wants to get sucked off or so. Most times, like, give me some chon-chon! But yeah, tapping your foot under a stall means that you want to get some chon-chon or you want to get sucked off or so. Disgusting people. If I do a Sunday stream, it'd probably be a video gaming that's what I'm planning to do when I start doing video games on a Sunday, and it would be for 4 hours. I don't have any Super Bowl plans yet, but I'll probably end up going to Hooters or Carolina Ale for watching the game. Yeah, they tapped their foot under a stall there. Yeah, we're going to head over to Vince's cousin's live stream. Give me some chung chung. Y'all ever heard Give Me Some Chon Chon? That's from the movie Blood In, Blood Out. If y'all guys have ever watched that, that's a great movie, actually. Aaron, there are no TVs at the Swordfish Club. No TVs whatsoever. It's a speakeasy. No TVs. Just good Frank Sinatra music. But no, there are no TVs in the Swordfish Club. Rest in peace, Leo. Rest in peace, Lee Banks. Rest in peace to everyone else who's passed away. All right, folks. It is midnight. And it is the end of the show, folks. I want to thank Pugman for donating. As always, I want to donate everyone that decided to tune in. Be sure to keep track of the channel. I'll still be putting out more videos on William deciding he wants to burn up his kidneys just to do the Arnold Classic and get a plastic trophy, maybe some money. The Earl Grey Tuesday will be on Tuesday, folks. Until again, I want to thank everyone for joining me for the Midnight Run. I am your host, the VINCE, the Great One. And as always, peace and soul and peace and a big old jar of hair grease. Later, folks.